Hello, DPE families, and welcome back to the September 10th Principal's Office. Hola, familias de DPEE, y bienvenidos a la oficina del director. Si necesita traducción al español, active los subtítulos aquí. Haga clic en el botón de configuración aquí. Luego haga clic en subtítulos. Haga clic en traducir automáticamente y desplázese hacia abajo hasta español. Haz clic en español y estás listo. All right, everyone, let's get started. So as you all know, our agenda for our time together is that we will go over important dates. Then we will talk about family feedback, specifically as it pertains to arrival and dismissal, which we all know is our focus together. Then we'll go over some announcements. We have some new announcements for you all this week, and then review our scholar focuses that we're currently working on in school. All right, so let's get started with important dates. So we talked last week and the week before that Latinx Heritage Month begins on September 15th and will run through October 15th. We will let you all know exactly how we will be celebrating, what events we'll be having with you all, with scholars, with our staff, to make sure that we are honoring Latinx Heritage Month accordingly. We do not have school September 16th. We are observing Yom Kippur. We have set a date for our back to school night virtual presentation, that being October 6th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Zoom. Then we will have in-person classroom visits on October 7th, with first grade coming in from 5:30 to 6, and kindergarten coming in from 6:15 to 6:45. That will be a time for you to receive curriculum materials for your scholars so that you can learn what they are learning in math, ELA, science, social studies, and all the other subjects that they have here at school. On October 11th, we will not have school. We are observing Indigenous Peoples Day. And on November 2nd, we will also not be having school as we are closed for Election Day. Please mark your calendar with those dates and let us know if you have any questions. A reminder, now that we have officially began school, we are honoring our weekly schedule that we have, that being Monday to Thursday, scholars coming in at 7:45 and being dismissed at 3:30. And then on Fridays, 7:45 with scholars being dismissed at 1 p.m. to make sure that our teachers can get the professional development that they need in the afternoon. All right, and moving on to family feedback. So our focus together is arrival and dismissal, making those procedures as smooth and as consistent and effective as possible, so that we can all get your scholars in as fast as possible in the morning and get them out as fast as possible in the afternoon to make sure that you all can go on about your days. So these are reminders from last week. The same things apply, things that we are currently doing really well. We have our car line consistently entering on the right side of the parking lot, which is super helpful for us for arrival and dismissal as well. Our walkers line, we recently made a change, for us to begin dismissing our car scholars first, which has been super helpful in making sure that we do not have any backed up traffic on Poplar Street, as again, we are navigating arrival, dismissal, and the general public using Poplar Street all at the same time. So the walkers line, super, super appreciative of all of you for being very patient and allowing us to get our scholars traveling by car out of the building first. Where we can get better, as we talked about last week, if you arrive in a car, please stay in your car. I know that it is instinctual to hop out and help your scholar into the car. We promise we will have one of our staff members to do that. Of course, if it makes sense, you may do that as well. However, we do ask that initially you stay in your car because we want to make sure we keep traffic flowing as quickly as possible. After 8 a.m. in the morning, after 3:45 p.m. on full days, and after 1:15 p.m. on half days, you must use the side entrance on Poplar Street. After 8 a.m. in the morning, your scholar is considered a late arrival, and so there will no longer be anyone in the parking lot to greet them. And so they need to come around the corner to Poplar Street to check in with our security officer before they go to their class. Similarly, for dismissal, after 3:45 p.m. and after 1:15 p.m., there's no longer anyone in the parking lot. Your scholar is considered a late pickup. They are now being monitored by a late pickup staff member, and then you will check in with the security desk on the side entrance of Poplar Street, and then your scholar will be brought to you at that time. Our goal is that 100% of scholars are picked up by 1:15 on half days and 3:45 on full days. We know that things happen, and we do ask that you let us know if those things happen. And we want to make sure that we make a concerted effort and a consistent effort to pick up scholars on time, as we know that teachers and staff need to get home and be with their families and do the things that they need to do after their workday. So super appreciative of all of you, and thank you so much for making sure that we can transition scholars in and out of the building on time. All right, announcements, starting with the new stuff. So all the way on the left, we have homework. Some of you asked when homework will be starting. Homework will be starting next week. You can expect that your scholar will have one math sheet, one ELA sheet, and 15 to 20 minutes of reading every night. It's super important that your scholar is completing homework at home, and we want to make sure that they're able to enjoy other things at home. Spending time with families, playing with siblings, cousins, parents, family members, whoever that is, that socialization is very important, as homework is also very important to make sure that scholars are practicing what they need to practice to reinforce what they're learning in school. So homework will be given on Mondays, every Monday, and then it'll be checked again the following Monday. So although you'll be given one math sheet, one ELA sheet, and 15 to 20 minutes of reading every night, your scholar will have an entire week to complete their homework packet. So it'll be sent home on a Monday in a packet form with a reading log for the week. And then you will make sure that it gets turned in that following Monday. Teachers will check it. There will be a point total for sheets that are completed, and that will be entered into our grade book for completion so that we can make sure that we follow up accordingly if scholars are not completing their homework consistently. But again, very, very important for scholars to complete their homework. And if you ever feel like it's taking way too long or it's too much, please let us know so that we can go back to the drawing board there and see what we might need to change. An update about Rising Stars Daycare Center. They were impacted by Hurricane Ida that we had last week. And so they are currently undergoing renovations for their Bronx location, causing them to be unable to accept any new scholars at this current time for their after-school daycare program that we were partnering with them on up until this point. So their renovations are being completed over the next month, and they will be accepting new scholars starting on October 11th. If you have any questions or concerns about that, please let us know. Last new announcement, medication administration forms. If your scholar is someone who needs to receive medication during the day, we are happy to have our nurse facilitate that for them. However, we will need you to submit an updated medication administration form, giving us consent to give your scholar medication during the school day. Without the form, we are not allowed to administer any medications at school. The form looks like this. It is a Department of Education form. Please make sure that it says 2021, 2022 on the top. There is an old one that is currently on the DOE website along with the new one, so it gets a little bit confusing when you're looking for the new one. Make sure it's the 2021, 2022. We will also link the link to the form in the description box so that you can find it easily on the website. Again, if your scholar needs any types of medication, please fill out this form so that we can administer their medication accordingly at school. Next up are general reminders, health and safety things that we talked about last week. If you still need a uniform shirt, please contact Ms. Rocha Jimenez. We talked about early pickup being before 12:30 and before 3 p.m. on full days and half days. After 12:30 or after 3 p.m., you would need to wait until our regular dismissal time to pick up your scholar. Again, scholars are marked as late pickup at 1:15 on half days and at 3:45 on full days. If you have any questions, updates, phone call requests, if you need anything, please utilize our DPEES_info@democracyprep.org email listserv. That goes to our leadership team and our operations team. So you have multiple people with their eyes on your email, and also will be more likely to receive follow-up faster because there are more people who will receive that communication from you. We talked last week about coffee and conversations. That will be an opportunity for the leadership team to sit down with families and answer any questions. Just spend time to get to know all of you. So please we'll look out for our date on when we will be having that. More than likely it will be virtual, and we will let you know exactly what the details are there. Health and safety reminders, please make sure you are filling out the New York City Department of Education health screening form daily. We will put the link in the description box below. Please bookmark it on your phone for easy access as you are bringing your scholar to school every day. Very important reminder, all scholars who are attending school with DPEE and Democracy Prep in general need to consent to weekly COVID testing. Although that testing is randomized and your scholar may not be chosen for testing each week, If your scholar is here enrolled with us and attending school every day, we do need to have a COVID consent form on file, COVID testing consent form on file for them. Please check our Instagram as well as our newsletter that's also going to go out today for the link to the COVID consent form website where you can fill all that out. And then you will send your confirmation code that you will receive once you sign up to dpes_info@democracyprep.org. Again, we talked about sending scholars to school with masks as much as possible. If that can't happen for one day, that is totally fine. We have masks here that will be provided to them. Packing an extra pair of clothes in case of any accidents. Things happen throughout the day, so it is a best practice to make sure your scholar has an extra pair of clothes in their backpack just in case. And then final reminder, as we are navigating the pandemic, building visits are currently by appointment only. So if you'd like to visit a teacher, or if you'd like to visit a leadership team member, an operations team member, please let us know. We're happy to coordinate that with you. And you would need to have an appointment in order to do that. All right, busing reminder for all of us. We talked about this a little bit last week, and I want to make sure to stamp this again, as we know that this is top of everyone's minds and that all of our families are trying to navigate at this time. So we have been working very hard with Office of People Transportation to roll out busing. Unfortunately, the Office of People Transportation let us know that our busing for DPE will be delayed by at least 1 to 2 weeks at this point. For us, our staff will be communicating to our families that you all should continue to plan to drop off and pick up through September. We are hoping that it does not take that long, as we were promised that busing would start the week of the 13th. However, that is no longer happening. And so there's no busing next week. And we don't want to set a date right now because we have not been given one by the Office of People Transportation. So to be on the safe side and to be more proactive with our communication, we're currently saying that all families should plan to pick up and drop off continuously through September. If we receive bus stops and a start date before the end of September, we will let you know. However, right now we are looking at pick up and drop off for the next few weeks. We know that this is not ideal at all. And we promise you all that we are talking to the Office of People Transportation every single day to try to get moving on this and to get a solidified date. We know that this severely impacts attendance and scholars' ability to get to school on time and be dismissed on time. And so we are being super flexible and also know that we are working very hard to get this resolved. If you have questions, concerns, if this negatively impacts your family, your scholar, whatever the case may be, please let us know. We want to hear from you. And so you can give us a call at any time, anyone on the leadership team or the operations team, or email that info listserv if you would like someone to reach out to you. Thank you all for being patient with us here. Again, we know that this is not ideal and we are working very, very hard to figure this out as soon as possible. Okay, so this is a reminder of what we're working on culture-wise in school right now and then academically. We will have a more detailed update for you all next week, and you will receive exactly what units your scholars are working on in their core subjects so that you can know exactly what that content looks like. For culture, we talked about us really reinforcing following directions the first time and raising a silent hand when I have something to say, making sure I'm not calling out. Those are the two cultural expectations we are reinforcing. On the right, we have our academics. So for K, name writing, counting, identifying, writing numbers 1 to 50, writing and identifying uppercase and lowercase letters A to Z, and identifying sight words, the Fry's first 100. For first grade, name writing, first and last for K as well. For first grade, counting, identifying, and writing numbers 1 to 100. Writing and identifying uppercase and lowercase letters A to Z, and identifying sight words, Fry's first 200. If you feel as though your scholar is way above this point and can do all of these things, please let us know. We're happy to talk to you more about what your scholar can be practicing at home if they are a little bit more advanced. All right. So as always, we are here to support you. This is our contact information here. One more time, just so that you can see it. If you need it, all the way to the left, that is Ms. Roche Jimenez, our administrative manager who handles all of our enrollment documentation, making sure that everyone gets their registration documents verified and ready to go for the school year. So that's her email and phone number there. To her right is Ms. Felice, our operations manager, who's currently working extremely hard on busing. So if you have any busing questions or just general operational questions, you can also reach out to her as well. Next to her, we have Ms. Monahan, one of our principal in residences. And then we have me, your interim principal and one of your principal in residences as well. So any of us can answer any of your questions. If you reach out to any of us, we are happy to support you. So just give us a call, email us if you need anything. Thank you all so much for your time, your patience, and your trust in us with your scholars. As always, we appreciate you, we respect you, and we are so happy that you chose us for your child's education. If you need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. We are happy to answer all of your questions and to sit with you and talk through things if we need to. And so again, utilize those phone numbers and emails should you need them. Enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much.